Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't done a live stream in a while, so I thought, you know what? Let's do one right now. Yes, that was literally the thought process. No preparation whatsoever ahead of time, and so yeah, the general idea is we're going to talk about video games, news, and some Warhammer 40K stuff, because I've been, as I've mentioned in I think one of the videos prior to this one, not live streams, but one of the Let's Play videos prior to this one, I've started collecting, or sort of started making a proper Warhammer collection from, you know, in some chronological order of the books and everything, and I've started going, you know, reading through them one at a time and all that. Because most people, you read 10 at a time. Now, what I mean is I started reading it from the very beginning, right? and then onwards. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that, and also see how the world's doing. Well, no, but yeah. So there's been a couple of things, with regards to both the gaming side of things and a couple of other news. So we will delve into those, but that's sort of the rough outline of what's supposed to happen and sort of the basic idea. But in reality, this will descend into something probably very different by the end of it all. But you know what? It's fine. So let's go over to Streamlabs OBS and begin capturing Grim Dawn like so. Now, theoretically speaking, the chat window should be working. I know previously it didn't really work, and we had like a square in the middle of the screen, which I couldn't really turn off because, well, if I did, it would what's the word? It would crash the recording program. So I don't know about that, but chat should appear here and should appear over on this end too. So we should be ready. And right, so here we go. I still wish I could see it on the same screen. Still wish I could see chat right here, like as I'm playing, but that requires an overlay which this program does not have. All the overlays are for, or basically our stream side, right? None of them are local over the game, so, yeah. Minor irrelevant issues aside, I'm going to beat the first serious boss of the game, hopefully in this run, and, I could be playing something else. I could be playing The Binding of Isaac, which is just a great game to stream. I enjoy it very much. However, I wanted to change it up a little bit, because, not everybody likes Isaac. Fair enough, it's a relatively niche game. So I wanted to change it up a little bit and play some Grim Dawn. I also played a little bit of Diablo 3 recently. It's just not that good. Okay, look, I'm the one that paid for it. I get to criticize it, right? And I paid full price for it, which is ridiculous. Some time ago, but yeah, it's not as good. The freedom of building your character however the bloody hell you want. This game is awesome. The abilities that you get are awesome. There's just so much more in it, Just pure content-wise, there is just so much more in it. And I was like, well, okay, well maybe Diablo will be like redeemed by the story or whatever. Nah, this game has a better story too. Subjectively speaking. So, yeah. I mean, you don't really play these games for the story, but, whatever. I will open up a chat on like a third window as well. Just give me a second. What I mean is I'll open it on my phone. How doth one do that? Here. Will this work? Supposedly, yes. Open. Et voila. Hi, how's it going? Hello, yes. Oh! Let's check. Is the, chat window's not working, is it? There's just a big red screen, a red block there, or whatever. Yeah, alright, whatever. That's fine, leave it at that. So, off to the races then. It could be that it's just not... So the way I set it up is... The way I set up the chat window is to just remember all the messages and not, like, delete them. Basically just remove messages when new ones appear. I don't think it's... I'll tweak with that one when the stream is done, but it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Now, getting stuff to record properly was a bit of a pain in the arse, to be completely honest. I had a week-long discussion with the support team from Streamlabs OBS, which is very nice of them considering the program is free, I mean, nothing is truly free, but, So it's very nice of them. At any rate, though, be that as it may. Where is the boss? It's up there somewhere, presumably. Okay. Well, tell you what, university's over, and, well, it's not over, it's actually, it's Juggernaut, it's beginning. Yes, it's the cycle of uni, right? It's over and then it begins immediately. Or at least what it effectively feels like it, so you don't really ever get to, cool off from it, which I suppose is, this is not the worst thing in the world, you know, it's, there's a benefit to it, but, at any rate, university's now over again. The couple of exams that people had to do in sort of the, last... Would you call it in the, like, outside of this part of Europe, like, the final, well, the finals, right? You call it the finals, but it's not just that. There's multiple times you can take it. There's multiple finals of that for all the linguistic violence that and then the linguistic cringe that sentencing holds. There's you basically take exams at different dates. And are you dead? He died. All right, let's pull stuff in again. Well, I suppose as things sort of get going, we can mention a little bit about the character. Though it is early days for this character, but essentially what we're doing while I'm playing in Grim Dawn is a necromancer, primarily, and he's going to have a little bit of other. Jesus fucking Christ! That thing has more health than my UI on the stream thing, and I've got a pretty big UI. Jesus Christ! Okay, spawn stuff to kill it. Yeah, there you go. Do you have stuff to kill it? Kill stuff, other stuff for you. It's just crowd control, except that it's like the opposite of crowd control. It's just crowd upon crowd, if that makes any sense. This was going somewhere. Yes, the character. Oh fuck! I forgot to. Professionalism, no. Sign off of social media before recording. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Where the... Okay, bad video settings. What? That's not true. YouTube, it's not true. So I have a stream preview and it looks perfectly fine and acceptable to me. Okay. We'll see. I'll get on... I will avoid this rant. I will avoid it at all costs because every single live stream I complain about YouTube, OBS, and Windows giving me 3 different types of information, all contradictory to one another. Won't complain about that. Everything is fine. Where were we? Yes, we're going to play a necromancer. Well, I'm going to play a necromancer. Essentially, he spawns stuff. That is the extent of his existence, really. I mean, that is the extent of his abilities. He can shoot a gun, and he spawns stuff. Basically, he also holds a rather large book. Why, he's not really sure. Okay, he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's holding that book, occasionally shooting the percussion pistol, or whatever the hell that thing is, at the horrible undead spawny things, hellspawn things, and he can spawn ever so slightly more vicious, horrible undead hellspawns. Really, if you think about it, they should be sort of joining forces, maybe, eventually, but, no, apparently not. At any rate, his primary ability is to have other people do stuff for him. There you go. It's true. It's true. It's a little bit tragic that this is the hero of the land. You could even say that it is not the hero we need, but the hero we deserve. Whatever the bloody hell that means. But yeah, I mean, that's the case. That's the case. What can I say? That is the case. Oh, what is this? Alright. Thank God for automatic inventory sorting. It's just... If I had to do... Could you imagine? If you had to do manual inventory sorting in this, it would take half as long as Tarkov does, usually. we'll talk about Tarkov towards the later part of the stream, where there's an update coming out for it. There's an update coming out for Tarkov in less than 24 hours, and I've played pretty much every day, and I've played a little, on and off, and I have completely filled up my stash with guns and medkits and armor. Mind you, I don't have a particularly big stash. Misses. Just keep your rude jokes for yourselves. Okay, in all seriousness, I don't have the biggest stash, but I did completely fill it up, so, suppose it's time to empty it, play a little bit reckless on stream and whatnot, but yeah, okay. We shall do that. For Tarkov episodes, though. But, yeah, like I said, there is an update coming out in around 24 hours, slightly more than that, maybe. Depends on the region, right? China's going to get it first, as they always bloody well do. And, well, they are the biggest market, so... Well, actually, will they get it out first? Because isn't there a ban? Pretty sure there's a ban. Unless they, like, lifted it partially, because they're all partial-like anyway. I don't precisely know what the ban entails, but essentially, I'm pretty sure it's like, for new games coming out. In fact, yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that's it. In case you didn't know, by the way, there's a ban in China, the world's biggest market for video games, has officially closed its doors to, well, video games. And the excuse of it is, think of the children. They're spending too much time on computers, and it is up to the government to step in and ban video games altogether. So you can no longer sell video games. Oh, fucking hell. I just got... Okay, look. In my defense, yes, like a couple of minutes ago, I talked about professionalism and whatnot. In my defense, just got a message from a person that I haven't heard from in like a year-ish, and my response is to just see the message, close it, and not respond. Yes, look, I'm busy. Does he know that? No, but it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm sure he understands. Oh shit, now I forgot. Now I closed chat. See, this is... Was that the Gestapo that came through the door? Well, it's not the Gestapo, but it's pretty close, and you know what? It's worth mentioning. Essentially, there is one reason that I have, like, essentially it's an extract from a speech that... It's just like a Nazi speech, right? From the 38, 39, something like that. Is there a particular reason why that's your ringtone? It's hilarious. What do I mean by that? You do not know the awkwardness of your phone ringing with that in, like, a crowded place. In, like, a restaurant. In the middle of the street. It is fucking priceless. I said I wasn't going to swear. Clean entertainment, right? I'm trying not to. But yeah, you do not know the beauty of something like that. Mind you, I don't recommend it. You do run the risk of slightly extremist behavior, let's call it, every now and again. But it sort of depends on where you are in the world. And, well, let's just say nobody in my country ever got beaten or harassed or even... looked at funny is different, but nobody ever even got approached or interacted with over a ringtone in my country, so I get to put it at pretty much whatever the hell I want. Which, I would argue is good. You can put whatever ringtone you want on your phone, and matter of fact, you should. But yeah, like I said, the only reason is it's awkward as all hell and funny. And that's my humor, apparently. The book I have is a little bit better. But whatever. clear all this out. Alright, so... You wanna know how terrible I am at managing stuff and remembering stuff? I actually need to look at the stream title in order to figure out what I wanted to talk about. Just take a moment to appreciate the stupidity. It's not the worst I've seen, but, you know... Actually, speaking of which, this is a good bit for stream. This was 2 days ago. So a friend of mine was taking some exams from uni and wanted some help from me about something. I've finished all my stuff. But he had like 1 or 2 exams left and he wanted some help with something. And... oh god. I'm not ready for this fight. So I'm not really... wow, it's an easy boss, never mind. That and I have health potions! Okay, I'll tell the bit after I kill the boss. Well, you can't really do that, can you? Because well, the answer is not to move. The answer is not to sit perfectly still and quiet while fighting it either. It's not much of a stream, is it? He doesn't die in this is like phase 1, right? He doesn't die? Yeah. When he doesn't do it, instead, just level up. And do AoE damage. Zombies. I can't. I genuinely cannot talk about the bit because I can't hear my own thoughts. Don't worry, this is like the toughest boss fight in the next 2 hours, so it's fine. Also the first tough boss fight, but it's not meant move. No. 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 Oh, you are kidding me. We got it close there a little bit. Yes, we did. I don't think we got a good drop out of him either, which is slightly tragic. But we cut it bloody close. That was... matter of fact, yeah, we got a terrible, terrible drop from him. That's awful. That's god-awful. Got a ring that was... well, I'll take it over the Vigorous Band, I think. Yeah. Ring is not awful, but everything else is. Alright, now for the bit. So I needed some help with something over uni, and essentially he had a question for me. That's just the TLDR of it. And the answer to this question I did provide in a speedy and effective manner. Good so far? Are you with me so far? Okay. The literal, like, 2 minutes later, he asks again. And I'm like, dude, it's this. Just type it out again. He then calls me. I proceed to, just, to all intents and purposes, rephrase what I just wrote to him and repeat it. 3 minutes later, he asks again. He doesn't, like, literally ask it word for word, because, you know, at that point I would stop asking because I would think he's retarded, but he just rephrases it a little bit, okay? I'm like, dude, I've already told you this. It's the same question. You just, you know, look at the broader context a little bit. It's the exact same question. The answer is exactly the same. Fine. Half an hour later, he takes the exam. What does he get? He gets the question he asked he wanted my help with. After I answered it 4 times to him. How much do you want to bet he got it wrong? Just putting it out there. How much do you want to bet he got it wrong? He got it. He fucking did. He fucking got it wrong. Now, you could say, well, why do you care? And I respect, okay, I respect it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm not going to say you're wrong. Absolutely. Why should I care? But there's a side of me that takes it a little bit bloody personally, right? I think that's understandable too. Because at that point, I'm fucking invested, right? To an extent, I am bloody invested, aren't I? You have not only failed the exam, you have failed me as, in this manner alone, your tutor and your you know, authority on the matter. So I repeat the same thing 4 times and he still gets it wrong. Jesus Christ. How'd you get up in the morning? Did you not forget to breathe occasionally? Was that black guy on YouTube was like... does like... makes fun of people. It makes fun of stupid people, essentially. It's a hell of a job description, eh? It's like, these are the kind of people that forget to breathe and die. I didn't believe they existed, but... like, for real? Okay. There's the warden's chest. We forgot to open the warden's chest, everyone. You don't need big brains, you only need WAG. Well, look, I'm so pissed off that the chat doesn't work. Actually, let me check if it works. So I'm watching my own stream now. It'll take a couple of seconds. I'm sorry. It does! Holy fucking shit, it now works! Start of the stream, it didn't work, it now fucking works. Let's actually go. Let's actually go. The chat in the chat box thing that I've set up last month finally works. Doesn't work the way I set it up to work, we'll talk about that later. It actually works, though. Speaking of brains, it's fine. Look. Just be persistent, annoy the living hell out of the tech support guy, and he will fix his program eventually. That's my advice to you. This is like, you don't need big... well... true, but at that point, just... there is no WAG university, you know what I mean? It's like, at that point, might as well... I don't want to say reconsider your option, because the guy is going to pass the year, you know? He's gonna pass most of his exams, but like at that point, and my absolute favorite thing, this is the reason, it's a friend of mine, right? I love the guy, I genuinely do. Here's the reason why. He's, for the most part, conscious of his prowess or lack thereof, let's say, you know? Because I remember, and this is by far my favourite conversation I've ever had with anyone in university. He was talking with another guy that they both failed, and I believe this is the same course we were talking about. This happened after, like, a couple of months ago. I think I may have mentioned it on stream, so I apologise if I'm repeating myself, but I don't think I did. He went basically... so yeah, they just failed this exam. It's not uncommon to fail it. A lot of people take it like from the 3rd or 4th try and then pass it. Then it's not like an unusual thing or anything particularly tragic. But well, that's actual boss, okay. But essentially they fail it and they're kind of bummed out about it, you know, as you'd expect. And this person A, we'll call him Mike, okay. His name's not actually Mike, we'll just call him Mike. He's a little bit optimistic, the poor fella, right? So he's like, you know what? We're gonna get serious now, mate. This is them two talking. We're gonna get serious now, mate. We're gonna start studying, we're gonna pass all our exams, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna do good, we're gonna, so on and so forth. This really upbeat, optimistic spiel going on. And... my orc friend, and yes, because of the WAG thing, I will now call him Orc. The orc friend essentially goes, and he's listening to him, and this motivational, you know, Winston Churchill-esque speech goes on for like a good 5 to 6 minutes. At the end of it all, and this doesn't really translate that well, because it's a lot quicker and it's very like a brief... oh. Requiescat in pace, yeah, it's called the guy. In my native language, it's a very sharp, sort of quick way to cut him off. In English, it's a little bit of a longer sentence, but it doesn't matter, you'll get the point. So he's listening to this upbeat speech for like 4 or 5 minutes, and he just goes, "Listen, you fucking idiot. You and me, we're dumb. You and me, we're idiots. We can't learn 2 fucking sentences by heart and repeat them. We're not gonna pass these exams." And the guy just, like, from this most upbeat sort of, you know, cheerful personality, just goes straight up into the worst depression face you've ever seen. And he just goes, "Aw." It's like he suddenly had the realization himself. It's like, it takes a degree of... I don't know what, but it takes a degree of it to look to just say that about yourself in the presence of others, you know? And sure enough, it was like Banson just joking and having fun a little bit, but it partially wasn't as well. Because he's like half seriously believes it. And it was hilarious at the time, and it was just not for the joke itself, but like for the fact that someone will say that. Is like, you do not really hear that ever. It's like, mate, you and me, we're fucking idiots. We're not passing. It's like, oh, okay. At that point, I did take a little bit. I did take pity a little bit. You know, how could you not? Yeah, I did take a little bit. Sure, guys, look, I'll help you out. It's fine. I'll help you out. But yeah, it's look. What can I say? Are all your friends are walking? Oh, look. No, just the really good ones. It's such like that's like a... That response exists for the situations like these. It doesn't exist to serve like a purpose of communication. It exists for situations like these. No. Like, in full honesty now, no. Most of them are like genuinely pretty smart people. Unironically pretty smart people. Well, most of the time. Okay, sometimes. No, I don't wanna besmirch anyone's good name or anything. No, it's like a group of 3 or 4 of them. Actually, it's a group. Well, yeah, it's like a group of 3 or 4 of them, and they hang out with each other, and so it's like this group of people, and you just gave me a brilliant idea. I should come up with a name for them. Nay, we should come up with a name for them, as in the wider collective at uni, so that I don't get, you know, it doesn't get traced back to me, but we should totally come up with a name for them. Like the deplorables, you know, but something actually funny. There is a name like of an orc warband or something, isn't there? I can make that a thing. Yeah, I am a very persuasive person. I can make that a thing. Just need to find like a good orc warband name and just do that. That'd be good. But yeah, at any rate, orcs aside, I did want to talk about a little bit about 40k as well, and everyone going, "Oh no, he's off on his rant again." No, it's just me. It's going to be an all-inclusive 40k rant. That doesn't make it sound any better, does it? It's going to be a bit of a 40k rant. It's going to be a bit of a sort of introduction into the entire thing, right? And everyone can chip in and have it make sense, because I'm going to show you a side of 40k you will not see on the internet. For the large part, right? Because here's the thing, and we're officially descending into the rant now. Here's the thing. 40k is often labelled as this incredibly grim, dark universe where everything is depressing, everything is dark, nothing is cheerful, and nothing good ever happens. And there's a reason for this, and it's kind of mostly true. Well, no. It is and it isn't. Here's the thing. So, when you look at, like, 40k from the Wikipedia or online or whatever, you ask people or whatever, they will tell you the worst part of whatever event that you're interested in. Right? They will tell you the absolute grimmest, darkest thing. Matter of fact, there was this article as like how space travel works in various sci-fi universes. And the TLDR of it is, in Star Trek, you know, they engage the engines and they're off somewhere in Battlestate Galactica. They spin up the drives, it takes a while, and then they execute a light jump and whatever, and that's how you do it. In 40K, 5 million slaves are sacrificed to the machine god to spin the coils of the machine, and then, you know, everyone is tortured, and then the ship moves 2 inches. It's needless to say an over-exaggeration, but it's basically sort of, you know, to sort of, it serves to... Ooh, that's a good shoulder piece. It serves to sort of set the tone for the universe, you know? No, that's, before you even ask, no, that's not actually how it works, but, you know, like I said, set the tone for the thing. Here's the thing, though. You get the wrong impression from it. You genuinely do. You get the wrong impression from most things that you read online. And I'm not just talking about this one comedic thing online, but no, from like most of the things you read, even like book summaries and stuff like that. Hell, I'd say especially book summaries. You get the wrong impression, right? And here's why. It's not as dark as you think. Or, let's put it like this. Every bit that you read on like the Wikipedia or like some of the really good people that cover Warhammer lore and stuff like that, like Arch Warhammer or whatever, everything they say is true. Yeah, okay, this is correct. But what they tend to miss out, and for fairly obvious reasons, is the sort of stuff in between. What do I mean by that? Well, Horus Heresy, Horus Rising, is a book of around 400 and something pages, right? It's a pretty long fucking thing. Yes, I'm literally holding it. I did literally check. Actually, let me tell you literally how long it is. This copy is 412 pages long. Okay? 412 pages you need to summarize into like a 15 to 30 minute video. Needless to say, you're going to cut stuff out. Point being, it's not as dark as you think, and I talked with Command Lish about this quite a bit. Because he's like, he says he's not really into 40K because it's like a bit, well, not a bit, but because it's way too dark for him, and he wants more, he prefers some of the lighter stuff like the culture novels and stuff like that, and then, no, more power to him, of course. Or to anyone. But it's not as dark as you think. Because, so here's the first 100 pages or so of the book. And, like, pretty much all of them are like this. Even the ones depicting the most gruesome events, like a Fall of Cadia or whatever. There is people dying. So there's the first, like, 40 pages of the book. They're describing a assault on the world. I forget the name of it, but essentially there's the false emperor on the world. And, this is the reunification of mankind, right? So they're assaulting the planet, and there's a couple legions of Astartes there, and a couple of different squads, and yeah, you get to see sort of like a Saving Private Ryan style, people dying left and right sort of thing, you know. There's actually not that many Astartes, and Astartes are bloody difficult to kill. But yeah, there's occasionally like a good friend of someone's will die, and they'll get all upset about it and whatnot. But it's like the next 60 pages is a historian drinking tea and having lunch while talking with a couple of his colleagues, and he comes up with this this rhyme. It goes basically, I'll try and find it for you, but I think it's like on page 40 something. Body often twitches when it dies. Here's somewhere, give me a second. I can't exactly find it right now, but the rhyme went something along the lines of, our brave Astartes, you know, noble and whatever, they save us from the brink, but by God do they stink, they stink, they stink. It's like, not exactly the grimmest and the darkest of all universes there, is it? So what I'm saying is, it strikes like a little bit of a balance, and you tend to sort of get the wrong idea. Often, I didn't really think about this, and I think most people that have actually read the books and have actually read more. Yeah, there's other things too, but like I'll focus primarily on the books with this. Oh god, there's a map. Guess I'll focus primarily on the books with this rant. You sort of know this subconsciously, but you don't really think about it. Most people get the idea that this is 420 pages of just slaughter of the innocents. You know, and I understand how you get the idea. It's not though. There's like lots of different individual stories and some upbeat moments and stuff like that. And especially if you go down to like a more less grandiose level of 40k. If that makes much sense. Like if you go down to some of the stories about some inquisitors and investigating stuff, or more like stories that don't span across the entire universe, but are like more sort of planet focused and single planet centric. You get that a lot more, and it's like there's degrees and shades of depressing, you know. It's really cool. It's really cool, and I think it gets overlooked very often. So I just wanted to sort of make a passing mention of that, if you will, and yeah, it's really cool. Really cool. Speaking of which, I'm building a collection, knowing full well that most likely, by the time I've finished it, and, like, read through everything, because there's a system, you know, there's a system. I think this is a good system. System for building a collection is as follows. Buy a book, read it, buy another one, read it, and just sort of stack them up and collect them. It's decent, right? Because I'm not. What I'm saying essentially is I'm not going to buy like 30 fucking books and never touch half of them and just have them for the sake of having them. That's what's happening. But yeah, it's like I know full well that by the time I finish it, I'm going to be like 40. But it's fine. It's fine. Look, I'm committed at this point. It's fine. You're seriously going to be 40. Look. I read very, very slowly. No, but there's also like 7 other books I need to read for the before the end of next year that are all like 500 pages large, and I need to do like, this is for uni stuff, and I need to do like analysis of them and then whatever. They keep you busy with reading. You don't have a lot of free time when it comes to reading in uni, unfortunately. So yeah, and as much as I would love to analyze 40k for a grade, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, they keep you pretty busy, but yeah, fine. Okay, that was Tarkov. Oh, that was look. Look. That was the first death, by the way, in the entire sound contradictory, in the entire life of that character. Now that was his first death. Well, that was his first near-death experience. Look. And sometimes you gotta take a step back and realize full well that looking off screen while playing is not conducive to good results. Internalize that fact, you know? Just really internalize that fact. And go and grab a drink of water. Or drink of water? We're going to grab a sip of water. Should have watched PewDiePie with his 0 deaths instead of this abomination. Look. In my defense, I'm playing on veteran. Was he playing on veteran? I don't think so. Yeah. It is... Brief second, though, before I go on like a 30-second break. it is a lot harder than Diablo 3, and I love it for it. I genuinely do. I think it's awesome. There's like two extra difficulty modes, but what I don't really like about them is all they do is reduce your resistances to damage. To make you take more damage. Could we not have improved the AI a little bit? Or, I don't know, made the enemies tougher? I think I would have preferred that. I would have preferred the enemies to be a little bit more tough, a little bit tougher than me taking more damage, because then that... Well, it lends itself well to playing builds that don't take damage. Ever. Like, you know, a guy with a sniper rifle from way back over there. So yeah, at any rate though, 30-second break, I'll attempt to play some ads, maybe. If I can find the button, there it is. And I'll be back in 30 seconds. I'll go and grab something to drink, and we'll be back with something. We'll talk about some news or whatever. Okay. I'm stupid, game's stupid, dying is stupid, PewDiePie's stupid, everything's stupid, let's go. No, that's not fair, PewDiePie's not stupid. I stand by everything else though. Let's return to this abomination. If I remember correctly, and you will notice I don't really know, because I don't tend to die all that often, I can get my stuff back. Like, yes, you actually lose XP and stuff in this game when you die. Yeah, it can be set up to something harder, I think, too. Maybe not. I don't remember. It can be set up to hardcore mode too. I remember that much. But yeah, you can if you can claim back your stuff, you get back some of the XP. Right. I was gonna talk about something. Some of the news. Yes, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's coming out, and I'm thinking about playing it for the channel. Here's the thing. I'm a bit of a sucker. Those were some nice non-existent ads. Look, I played them. I did. There's a big play ads button. You click it. You set up how long you want it for. Or, I think that was sort of removed, so you need to click it again when it expires. It's like a 30-second timer, I think. The fact that it doesn't show ads to you is simply YouTube stealing my money from me. Well, no, they're sort of not stealing it from anyone because nobody's getting it, because nobody's seeing ads. But, you know, as far as my part is concerned, I played them. The fact that it doesn't want to show it to most people is borderline theft, you know. That's not actually theft and private company. They can do whatever they want and all that. Let's just not get political, but it's annoying though. I appreciate the fact that you told me that you didn't see anything, because yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's. And I love the fact that it used to say play ads would do what you'd expect it to do. It would play ads, right? Now it doesn't say that. When you mouse over play ads, it says, based on a complex something system, a certain number of your viewers may see an ad. And I'll explain to you why this is so, is because YouTube has been getting grilled over the coals for the last God knows how long over, oh, that is an epic pistol. I don't know if it's actually any good, but it looks fucking amazing. We're playing Fashion Grim Dawn from now on. Look at that. That looks... That is the most beautiful pistol I've seen in this game. That is absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, they've been grilled over the coals for the last God knows how long by mainstream media. They essentially did a Stalin-esque purge of the ad system in order to keep their partnership with their sponsors and to keep the advertisements actually going on YouTube and to stop people from leaving the entire project because they're hearing all sorts of vile lies about it, about the site. So, and they don't know. So yeah, from that point I really do understand them, but from another, like, come on, I'm playing Grim Dawn and I'm talking about a book. To all, literally speaking, to all intents and purposes, I'm playing a video game and I'm talking about a book that I read / am reading. There's not much here that's not, not family friendly. I occasionally swear. I've been trying to sort of not do that too, and not for any other reason than personal. Like very personal, because I don't feel the need to, and I just feel better when I don't, and I believe others will too, and it creates a more sort of friendly atmosphere, and there's this sort of clean, non-toxic entertainment and whatnot. We can get into that later, right? It doesn't matter, but essentially that's all I'm doing. There's really no reason to censor me, YouTube. I understand this is what they do to pretty much everyone, but yeah. Oh well, we've been complaining about it for like 4 years on and off, that they've cut off funding, that ad revenue has been down by like 90% compared to like 3 or 4 years ago. Can we do it? We could just keep complaining, and that's pretty much the extent of what we can do. So yeah, that's why a lot of people, and matter of fact most people, nowadays depend on sponsorships and donations. There you go. Now, I've got to say, I've gotten a couple, 5 in total, rather generous sponsorship offers recently, so I can't really complain. I will tell you about those in a second, just because I do want to be fully transparent. Was one of them Book Depository? No. I understand how that video turned out. Do I regret making it? No. Do I regret making it the way I did? Slightly. But, no, it was not Book Depository. You did mention something about Book being entirely about slaughter of the innocent. There's no such thing as artistic freedom anymore. Can I not write literature about the slaughter of the innocent and not be judged by society? Was it, I hate to quote people on you and hate to get all intellectual on you, it's almost a swear word nowadays. But was it Oscar Wilde that said, art shouldn't be more friendly to the general public, but rather the general public should strive to be more artistic. And essentially that, Realize that there is beauty in said book, that there is, artistic beauty in said slaughter of the innocents, and revel in it. Or try, or don't, or whatever. But yeah, the sponsorship deal, and then I'll come back to this. It was for like the 4 or 5 of my most popular videos on the channel. Essentially, there's this group of people slash company slash whatever they are that do... Essentially, they make a website about cheats in a video game. And it's not like multiplayer video games or hacking or whatever. It's like the Paradox games, essentially. They did... I'm pretty sure they did exclusively stuff for Paradox games and Bethesda games. So they would compile a list of cheats and a list of like explanations of what they do and how to use them and examples and stuff like that. It's essentially the same thing as the Wikipedia articles about said cheats. However, these are actually useful. I'm just kidding. Wikipedia is really useful too, but these basically have more explanations. They have more sort of explain to me like I'm 5 explanations, which is very good for most people, judging by my sample size. And yeah, it's sort of like a more easy to use, UI friendly, and all that. Wikipedia site about cheats in stuff like Hearts of Iron, Europa Universalis, Fallout 4, and stuff like that. And they wanted me, not just to enjoy and agree with Mein Kampf without being judged by society. Well, you want my answer? You should be able to. I said, well, judged by society is, Here's my genuine answer to that. I'll get back. Actually, no. Let me. I'll forget about the sponsorship thing. Essentially, what they wanted me to do is put the link to their website in the description of my videos. Not all my videos, just the videos related to like the cheats in Hearts of Iron, cheats in Europa Universalis, Fallout 4, and those videos that I did. And they say, we'll pay you if you put the link to our website in the description and keep it there for X amount of time. I think it was 9 months is the deal. And I'm like, oh, sorry. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, because I checked out the website. It's very relevant to the content of the video. It's oftentimes, not often actually, it's always better than the Wikipedia or Google stuff that you can find. So you gain out of it, I gain out of it. Beautiful, beautiful sponsorship, beautiful partnership even. So yeah, that was basically it for those guys, and well, thank you to them. And I did put a disclaimer in all of them or some of them, I don't remember, that like this is sponsored content. And the link down below is sponsored, or whatever. Like I said, transparency, but, you know. It was very cool. Like, stuff like that I'll accept every day of the week, because there is literally not a single negative to it. Right, so instead of seeing, like, my Patreon or my Twitter link first, you get to see the actual relevant thing to the video first, which is even better. Or instead of me putting, like, a Wikipedia article there, or not a Wikipedia, like, it's, Paradox Wikipedia thing, whatever they call it, I can't remember. Link there, I put their website in, which is, like, arguably better, so, yeah, there you go. It's really good, it's really good. At any rate, I was gonna come back to this, and, like, my genuine answer is, you shouldn't care about what society thinks of it. Because it's a bit of a complicated question. It's like, without being judged by society, well, what do you mean? You know, and I know I'm reading way too much into this. It was just like a thing to mention. It's like a joke or whatever. I'm overanalyzing it, but have you met me? It is the thing. Like, why would society know what you're reading and agreeing with if you don't act on it? You know? Like in public, or start protests or whatever. Because if you read it in public and like in a park, should people come to and I don't know, snarl at you or I don't know, harass you, whatever? Absolutely fucking not. Whatever you're reading, and like literally whatever you're reading. And you know, barring that scenario, why would they know you're agreeing and judge you? For what reason they would have to judge you? And how would they know? So now I'm getting at. So the point I'm making is, in order for them to know, you would have to act first in some way, shape, or form, and then the blame is sort of shifted to you. Because if you go around harassing people with, I don't know, chanting slogans and whatnot, then it's different. But if you just stick to yourself, and this is the libertarian in me, just stick to yourself and don't harm others, perfectly fine with everyone, I think. So, yeah, there's my overly complicated analysis of a comment made, like, 90% out of a joke. There you go. The sad thing is, I get paid for stuff like this, and not... Ooh, need to buy that back, I think. Yeah, no, the one I have equipped is better, never mind. I don't mean through YouTube, I get paid by my actual physical, literal government to, spew garbage like that. Mostly about literature, though, but, you know, not social issues, but... Well, hell, even those. It's all sort of intertwined, isn't it? I like that, by the way. I've used that a little bit often nowadays. Because it's true. I literally get paid by the government to do nothing for like 90% of the day, and then occasionally spew some garbage and then spew my opinion on something here and there. It is glorious. Don't tell anyone to change the system. That said, I occasionally feel like I live in North Korea. If someone will ask, I'll talk about it. If not, I'd rather, you know... Social issues? Socialist issues? Well, look. That too. All connected. What about national socialist issues, though? Now, there you have me. It's not. This is not the place for that, though. Actually, you know what? If you're a socialist, YouTube is absolutely the place to be talking about socialism. If you're not a socialist, steer clear of this website. No, not this website, you know, in terms of watching or whatever, or creating other content. But, you know, in terms of debating politics and talking about socialism and criticizing socialism, stay off this website. Just do yourself a favor. Do it on, like... Is Twitch any better? I don't know, Twitch doesn't ban people for stuff like that. So yeah, sure, do it on Twitch. Do it somewhere else. Not the website for that. Trust me. I've seen one too many people get deleted off of YouTube without any warning for their political beliefs. So we can talk about that too. It's like they've changed the user agreement to basically say nothing. And it pisses me the hell off. To the point of there's like... so I'm pretty libertarian. He says he wouldn't talk about... Now, I won't talk about politics 2 minutes into the stream later. I'm pretty libertarian, but... you know this is going to go wrong. But I'm at the point of... thinking that companies like that should be forced to disclose everything in their agreement with you, or in their contract with you. I'm getting to that point, because right now the way it is, the YouTube agreement states absolutely fucking nothing. To all intents and purposes, it is telling you you can't do stuff we deem inappropriate. And our subjective opinion of what is or is not inappropriate will change. very often. And that's about it. You know. So, and I mean, aside from my opinion on anything political whatsoever, this is like objectively what it says in the contract. If you look at it through like legal speak, you know, through lawyer language. And I'll give you a very precise example. It says behavior such as. Whenever you see such as, it means that it's not a complete list, it's subject to change, and it's completely subjective. Such as doesn't do anything. Such as is like a couple of examples. It's not... in terms of like legal value, it has none. Right? It doesn't bind them to anything. It doesn't make it so that they can't ban you for something. Essentially, you've signed an agreement that says we can ban you whenever the hell we want for whatever the hell we want because the list isn't complete. And fair enough, people accept this, knowingly or not. So it's just like on them since they accepted the agreement. But you know, then again, you can't really know what to do in that situation. It's not really good for them either, right? Is it? I suppose it kind of is and it isn't. So we can now remove people off the website whenever we deem to for whatever reason we want to. That's good for us, right? Well, change in leadership hasn't helped either. Oh god, what the hell is attacking me? Humans in this game are terrible. I much prefer the undead. Much prefer the undead. The undead go, and they want to hug me. Humans go, die, 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 and they shoot me. Undead are a lot better. Now let's see what sweet goodies we got out of you. I was talking about Tomb Raider 2. Let's just get out of this realm of politics as soon as possible. Let's talk about Tomb Raider. I'm a little bit of a sucker, fully admit, for like... how should I put it? Like, occasionally one-time adventure games, if that makes sense. I'll explain what I mean. Like, I'm a bit of a sucker for games that you complete once and then never touch again. And games that, like, take you on a rather limited, narrow adventure through something. Not many collectibles, not much sandboxing, not just point me in a direction. I'm a nuclear warhead. Point me in a direction, launch me there, and I will get there. I'm a bit of a sucker for those games occasionally. And, like, Tomb Raider fits damn near perfectly, right? So, I can't wait for it to come out. Plus, I haven't played, like, a graphically good game in quite a while. Like, Tarkov is pretty, but Tarkov's not, like, top-end graphics, right? It's just good-looking. Relatively good-looking. I want to play, like, a gorgeous game, you know? I want to push the limits of... Just say it straight, Jugs. You're a sucker big bobs without having to make choices. I will admit you've slightly lost me in what I was supposed to entail. But what do you mean about? Oh, I get it. For Tomb Raider, yeah. 'Cause I'm playing as Lara Croft in this. It doesn't make too much sense. Well, look, see, that's not true either. Because if that were true, I would play some of the older Tomb Raider games, because as we all know, as we progress through time, Lara Croft's breasts get smaller and smaller. Factually true. Look it up. Compare it... Let me rephrase. Compare them from the first game to today. Through each iteration, they've only gotten smaller. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a problem. It is true, though. It is true. They've only gone smaller. I honestly don't care. Ooh, we got... Oh, that was weird. We got dynamite. We're gonna blow stuff up. But, gotta have a lot of garbage here that I need to get rid of eventually. Who's this? Okay. No grammar on point, but you get the point. Yeah. I got it. Where was I going with this? Yes, it's like I want to push the limits of this system in terms of graphics. Like because I've mostly played games like this. I've played strategy games. It's fine. I've played like but yeah, that's just about it. I've played like Warhammer 2, which is again mostly for the CPU and is horribly optimized anyway, so tends to lag a little bit anyway, and then to it doesn't lag in battles, which is the weirdest thing in the world. It lags on the campaign map. It's like it takes a couple of seconds to select stuff sometimes when you start it up. It's like, whoa. I didn't know this button did this. It's a whole new world. Okay. So yeah, like I really want to play like a graphically demanding game, and to revel in graphics for a bit, because I've mostly been playing, if I'm gonna be honest, text-based games. It's not literally, but I would describe this as a primarily text-based game. Because all that matters are the numbers above their heads, and as far as I'm concerned, these could be 8-bit enemies, it wouldn't make much of a difference. You know? And the guns themselves, okay, the pistol looks really nice. The pistol needs to be HD, okay? Everything else, so I'm looking at the rifle, I'm not looking at how it looks, I'm looking at the numbers and the text. Stellaris, there's no bigger text-based game than Stellaris. CK2, EU4, all of those. Just completely text-based. All you do there is just look at people complaining, modifiers hitting you or not hitting you. Do not care one bit. There is still something there clearing the way. Destroy the bandit barricade blocking the road. Hear me out. I'd like to scout this area a little bit. Like so. Okay. Can we blow it up? Yes. Crowley's men, level 24. Yeah, this is an area we can be in. So yeah, it's like, I genuinely can't remember what's the last time I've played a game that was demanding from like a system / graphics standpoint. I suppose Doom on stream, right? That was one. It's not really a demanding game if you have like 100 FPS in it at maximum settings. It's not exactly what I mean. Plus, I mean, it is a relatively old game at this point. Well, not old game, but it is a bit of an older game at this point, you know? It's not Doom. Haven't played Battlefield 1. No intention of doing that. Yeah, it's, I genuinely can't remember. Must have been quite a while ago. Okay. Speaking of Battlefield, wait a couple of seconds for the chat. I'm just going to leave it at that. Speaking of Battlefield, take it away, chat. Take it away, comment section in the in the VOD later tonight. Take it away. If you have any sort of, and I know this is old news at this point, this is like really old news at this point, but if there's any trace of like venting that you want to do about that game, feel free to go ahead. Just let it all out. What do you think about it? No, if you like it, it goes the other way too. You know? Go ahead. Talk to me. Jeez, I mean, censoring the word DLC, but not censoring the word free DLC is like, to hell with everything else. That is the pinnacle to me. Like, that was genuinely the pinnacle of just disaster for that game's, like, future prospects, you know? So I think that was the absolute top. It does not get worse. And people like censoring Nazi in a World War II game. Yeah, but I sort of get it. You know, I suppose it's... I mean, I don't. It's stupid. If you're gonna ask me, all forms of censorship... try again. All forms of censorship are stupid. I need to shut up. See what happens when we shut up? We actually kill bosses. There you go. Like if you're gonna ask me, all forms of censorship are kind of stupid, but you know, I sort of could maybe potentially be brought to understand. DLC though. For Christ's sake, really? Someone thought, oh boy, Battlefield cyborg sniper woman in the front on the Fortnite's realistic scenario. Oh, and sensory phrase white man is very great too. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing that genuinely just, and I don't understand. Like, I'll raise my oh, that's my other hand, my right hand. And I'll just flat out admit, I do not understand this. Someone sat in an office and thought to himself, you know what we should do? We should ban words like DLC and white man. And everyone else in the office went, good idea, man. Good idea, this. Now, if this was a 20-something-year-old college student, okay, you know, people are entitled to their opinions. Whatever. Yeah. I don't get it. I still don't. You need to explain to me the logic behind this. You really, really do if you want me to understand it. But it's your thing. These are people that are in an industry. A multi-billion-dollar industry. These are people that have actual functional jobs. These are people that do not wake up in the morning, forget to breathe, and fall over and die, right? These are people that supposedly work in this industry. Let me put it to you another way. I don't know the slightest thing about carpentry. I don't. I don't know the first thing about it. If I was a carpenter, I wouldn't go, do you know what? Let's make all of the tables in such a way that as soon as you touch them, they disintegrate. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, if I said that, people would go, alright, but you're not a carpenter, you know, whatever, you're never going to make tables, so you're weird, but okay. If a carpenter said that, they would go, huh? Are you sick? Excuse me, like, do you want to talk about it? I genuinely understand. I genuinely do not understand that there are people that do this as a job, that get paid for this, whose livelihood depends on making good video games. Making video games. Making video games that will sell. Making relatively acceptable video games. That thought to themselves, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. And the fact that this was not stopped from, like, the conception to the end product. And there's a long fucking line from conception to the end fucking product. That nobody thought and said, well, hold on, that's a little bit... Why exactly we're doing this? Did no one dare? I don't know. I am genuinely shocked that this made it through. I will be even more shocked, though, and I promise you this. I will be even more shocked. Matter of fact, sod that, I will be much more shocked. Tenfold more shocked if it makes it out of the beta. After, like, the reception, you know. Because let's imagine for a quick second that there is a different team responsible for handling the community feedback and providing it to the devs. And designers and whatnot. If that makes it to the end product, I am lost. You have lost me. At that point, I know nothing. I am Jon Snow at that point. At that point, I don't know. I know nothing, like I said. You have just completely lost me. Is this any good? It regenerates health, the other thing regenerates energy. Spirit Cunning. Cunning Spirit. This one's slightly better. Yeah, it is. Put this on, I suppose. Buff our gear a little bit all around. But yeah, that was the battlefield bit. Shocking. Just shocking. And okay, I'll leave it up to... I kind of want to do like a coin flip whether I should talk about this or not, because I'm at that point. Have you heard though of the again, old news, but I'll never make a video on this for multiple reasons, and one of them being everyone and their mother made a video about this. So yeah, heard about the casting for Superman and Siri in their TV shows, respectively. Now, Superman for the movies and Siri for the Netflix show Witcher. If they don't like it, don't buy it. Yeah, it's absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. It's so bloody apparent. It's so bloody obvious. So bloody obvious that this exact comment, if you don't like it, don't buy it, from the, what's his title? He got fired now, so it doesn't matter, but he left before they had a chance to fire him. Boy, did that turn out well. This exact comment is like at the top comment section of every single video about Battlefield 5. It's so bloody obvious. You know. So I will share my favorite bit about that, though. There's this little cartoon that someone made. And it's like how, I think the cartoon title is like how Battlefield developers imagine their buyers or something like that. Whatever. So it's like a 11-year-old / 16-year-old, somewhere in that category. It's not a very detailed drawing, right? Of a kid talking to her great-grandfather. Now, great-grandpa has been... Ooh, those are fire skeletons. Those are rare and very cool. Now, great-grandpa has been in a war. He's been in several, actually. One of the wars he's been in is World War II. And he's a World War II veteran and has, like, a load of medals, and he was, like, a sergeant or whatever. And as they do, he shares war stories with her. You know, she wanted to know, and he talked about it with her. And he said, well, you know, me and my friends, we came out of a village near Michigan, and we all enlisted together. You know, there was 7 of us, and we all got sent to different, like, divisions and all that. But you know, we all enlisted, and I held my friends as they died, and held them in my hands, and we stormed the beaches of Normandy, and you know, we pushed on to Berlin, and I've seen some of my best friends die, and you know, I've seen the atrocities of war, and I've also seen the atrocities that we've committed, or that you know, the Allies committed as well, with executions and taking no prisoners from the SS and whatnot. Man's like pointing out facts, you know. It's like this deep, really serious black, Asian, or mixed. Actually, it's not mixed; it's minority, which one would argue is, well, I'll go there. And they say that they're going to keep true to the source material. Absolutely, yeah. That's exactly my point. But we'll get to that in a second. But the comic is like this really heartwarming story about this veteran just really. It's like an anti-war story that he's like talking about the horrors that he's experienced and whatnot. And at the end of it all, it's like a very long comic. And at the end of it all, the daughter hugs him and says, "You're so uneducated." Like, you don't actually know that they were cyber bionic women that fought on the lines, and that you were actually in the minority, Grandpa. I was like, come on, dude. Oh, fuck me. That was brilliant. This is like, after this long, realistic, gritty, dark, and yet in some way, you know, heartwarming story about this one man and everything that he's lived through, you know. It's like, you're uneducated. Like, ah. That was absolutely fucking brilliant. But, yeah. Oh, what the hell are you? Oh, God, he's quick. Kill it. Kill it with spikes. Thank God the spike's slow, because if they didn't... Oh, boy. If they didn't. Yeah, anyway, that was... You're so uneducated, is that what you say to the orc gang of yours? Orc gang of yours? No, I never insult them. They insult themselves, which is kind of why I love them, honestly. I've not once have I ever insulted them. Not once have I frowned upon them, looked down on them, nothing. Never even made a mention of it. They insult themselves. All the time. It's like, oi, could you help us idiots out? We, the band of morons, require assistance in this matter. All their words, and I'm making it out as I'm like their sort of messiah or whatever, and that they depend on me as like I helped them a couple of times with stuff about uni. I'm not just there carrying them through every single fucking exam, you know. But it's I help as much as I can. But it is that they insult themselves. It's awesome. So yeah. Anyway, that was the that was the comic, and I just loved it so much. In regards to Siri, though, I guess I'll have to just continue being uneducated and spend my money on less educational TV shows, eh? Oh well. Oh yeah, and then Superman's gonna be black now too. Because, you know, why not? Just fire Henry Cavill. Just fire him because he's white. Yeah. That'll go down well. Yeah. It's not like there's 50 bloody exhibits of that failing on the wall right next to you. I'm sure that'll go down well. These people made it their job to make movies, by the way. And were successful at it. Just bear that in mind. It could be good, though. You know, it could be good. It could be a good series. No, Superman could be good. It's not going to. Just put it out there. It's not going to. I'll tell you why. Because not sure if I mentioned this on the stream already. I mean, I'm being a bit self-depreciating here, but the government literally makes it my job to critique stuff like this. Well, no, they make it my job to critique Shakespeare, so yeah, whatever. I'm just kidding. You're not allowed to critique Shakespeare. It's blasphemy. I never quite understood why. Maybe I will in like 4 years of indoctrination. Maybe I will, but apparently, oh, that's another boss. It's like you're not allowed to critique Shakespeare. He is the alpha and omega of all literature. Matter of fact, we have like a course that lasts the whole year dedicated to just sucking up to him and telling about how awesome he is, with not one word of criticism. Okay, what about the fact that he borrowed all his plots from other people and other plays and stuff? We're not going to mention that? No, okay. What about the fact that he was paid by his government, much like I am, to do what he was doing for purposes of propaganda and forming a bureaucracy and keeping a population docile in the midst of colonial expansionism and literally forcing people out of their homes to go and live in remote islands so that we can form colonies over there and make a world empire? No? Fine, we'll talk about how good Hamlet's mother is as a character. She has like 6 lines in the entire play. Apparently she's awesome. She is, like... That's... Jokes aside, that was one great character. At any rate, though, we won't talk about that, I promise you. This bit was going somewhere else. Yes, it's like, I will now demonstrate to you why it will be shit. Is the point of the character is to be black, or is to be of a certain race, or is to be of a mixed origin, or it's not mixed, it's minority. Is to be a minority. Matter of fact, 3 inches from my hand, right here. You can hear it. I have a book where, in the first chapter, a woman appears, she's from Earth, and she's as black as coal. Right? Doesn't matter. Did it bother me? Not in the slightest. Why? I'll tell you why. It's because they wanted to fill an ethic order, they could just use some actual law, like the culture of Fury, which is basically Muslim. Yes! And, there's total... yes, true. Or they can have, like, I don't know, like a merchant caravan of black people come in and whatever, if you want to like, fill out a racial quota or whatever. Which, if you're going to think about filling racial quotas, also, maybe don't think about filling them in a book that is damn near 100% based on Poland and Eastern Europe. Because if you've ever been to one of these places, sob me, I live in one of them, you're going to notice that there's not a lot of black people here. At all. Matter of fact, I have seen... six or seven black guys in my life. Here, in my country, which is Eastern Europe. And I've travelled a decent bit. All of them, apart from maybe one, were tourists. Maybe, I'm pretty sure one guy wasn't a tourist. He didn't look like a tourist. Yes, we can tell. We natives of the city can tell. Always. Just one look, all it takes. But yeah, this is... It's like, over the course of 20-odd years of living here, I have seen 6 black people. That is in the 21st century, not medieval Poland. And I will guarantee to you that in medieval Poland, there were about 6 less. Yeah, but at any rate, here's the thing. Like I said, in the book, which is 6 inches to the left of me, to the right of me even, doesn't really matter, woman appears, she is black as coal, and a detailed description of her is given. She's also bald. Has some sort of implant chip thing in her head. And she's rather annoying. You know, she comes up to the Astartes, and yes, it is from Horus Rising. She comes up... right on that point, Kingdom Come Deliverance doesn't have enough black people, yeah. Sir, feel free to take your issue up with medieval Poland. If you want to take it out, take medieval Poland to court, feel free to. Go right on ahead. We're with you. I'm all the way back over here. But yeah, let me finish this. She's as black as coal. She's bald. She's a little bit annoying. At no point did I think, ooh, she's black, I don't like this book. Which is how we're being portrayed when we say we don't want a black Superman, or we say we don't want Siri to be black. Right? This is how we're portrayed. At no point did this annoy me or even give me pause. As a matter of fact, it gave me pause after I read it, but for all the wrong reasons. Right? It gave me pause because I was like, this didn't give me pause, this is how you do characters. Right? This is how you create minority characters, and I'll explain why. The fact that she was black was not the point of the character, it was a feature. Okay? So, a feature of hers was that she was black. The point of Superman will be that he is black. He will no longer be a character, he will be black. This is to the detriment of the character. Hell, this is the detriment of this narrative that you're trying to push as well, and this is what they don't realize. It's like you're trying to push a narrative of equality and all, you know, push back racism and all those. It's okay, great, look, I'll stand right with you. But this is the wrong way to do it. This is to the detriment of all of that. If anything, this is making people, you know, in the future dislike actors and characters being black and all that. I'll give you another example of a good character, of a character done right, you know? Of a minority character being right. And hell, this one was even changed from being white in the comics to being black in the movie. In Deadpool 2, Domino. So Domino's white in the comics with like a black patch on her eye. Here, they reversed it, you know? And I didn't mind. It's like, I saw the movie, and I did not care. Why? It wasn't the point of the character. The point of the character wasn't to be black. The point of the character was to be Domino, to be funny, to have powers of luck, which are totally not superpowers, and I'm on Deadpool's side of that, with that. Now, jokes aside, that wasn't the point of the character. You know, the point of the character was, like I said, everything else about her. And that's how you make a good character. This, whatever monstrosity it will be, is not a good character. Simple as that. A very, very simple procedure. Gorefest and the Conduit. These are good weapons. Let's Really? How big is this thing? Ooh. I think I actually have this sword in the stash. Let's go and sell all this stuff. Or maybe keep one or two of the other things. We'll see. But yeah, like that was... Yeah. That was a good way to do it. Genuinely was. Liked it. Loved the movie, matter of fact. Absolutely loved the movie. But, this is a one-handed axe? Sod me, look at that. Oh, we don't need any of this. Is this any better? Not really, no. Okay, there we go. Hubba. Okay, let me go grab some more water and I'll come back to you in a couple of seconds. And yes, I'll try and play ads again. God knows if that'll help. Well, let me guess. You saw absolutely no ads. Honestly, would be the least surprising thing all evening. But hey. Try and open the window a little bit because it's getting rather uncomfortable here. Kind of like how I want to... Kind of like how I want to live and this stream has adn't. Think I get it. Oh god. Right, tell you what. About 15 more minutes. And I'll go off and record some Tarkov. I'll go off and record some CK2. And then I'll probably go to bed. Because you might not believe me in this. But anyone that has known me for longer than 2 days will attest to. I now have an actual functioning sleep schedule. That does not involve me waking up at 2 AM or falling asleep at 5 PM. It's like an actual real life sleeping schedule. Shocker. I know. Absolutely shocking. Tell you what, I'll extend the stream up for a few minutes because I need to clean up my inventory a little bit. I'll put this in there. Put that in there. Just thrilling action. Really, really awesome. I know. I know. This just absolutely stellar excitement. I know, don't worry. I just need to, Ooh, that's pretty decent. Why not? Armor ourselves up a little bit. God, you don't understand the rephrasing of the yes and may? I do. It's not well versed in it, as it were. Because, apart from seeing one yesn't meme, this is quite literally the first time I've seen something like this. I'm being sincere here. Tell you what, I wanted to get a t-shirt, and I think I can now. I can't because I don't have the money, but I will eventually, in like a couple of months. I'll get a t-shirt that says, "Thou shall not meme." And it's an inside joke from Gopher. So one of the YouTubers that I really, really adore and respect, and had a decent bit of influence in what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and all that. Besides the point. A couple of years ago, there were people like memeing 24/7 in his comment section and chat, and he made a t-shirt that was like, "Thou shall not meme," and I want it so badly. I want it so badly. So I've gotten old enough to the point of me wanting that t-shirt. And go on, that's something to... Now, we'll talk about me getting old. And you getting old too. We're all getting older, don't worry. I'll talk about that. And then we'll wrap the stream up, probably. Gonna need to go and record stuff. Such a busy life. So uncivilized you elderly can't keep up with the youth nowadays. Oh, I want to cry. I'm old. And I fully understand the irony of complaining about being old in your 20s. Like, it'll catch up to me, you know? It'll catch up to me when I actually get old, and I'll be like, what the fuck was I talking about? But, be that as it may, for now, indulge me when I talk about getting old for a second. I mentioned this on stream, I think, at one point, but it was weeks ago, or months ago, even. There's a kid that lives, like... The kid's basically my neighbor in the uni town. And she was walking with her mother up the stairs, and I was walking in the opposite direction, and the kid went... I don't know, the kid was like stumbled or something. I was far away from him. I had nothing to do with me. But her mother picks her up and says, like, "Hush, honey, let the she was like, basically she told the kid, like, you know, be polite, be nice, let the mister pass by, or pass through." The word mister just stung. It stung like 1,000 needles, you know. Mister? Mister is what you say to 90-year-olds passing next to you. Or that's what it felt like, you know. It's obviously not true, but it's sort of like a subjective feeling of what it's like. I'm not a mister yet. I was a kid yesterday. People called me kid yesterday. Where has the time flown by? It's like my hair started getting grey as well. My beard started getting grey, which between me and you is why I shaved it off. Though I have an excuse for the public, don't worry. But yeah, it's just like I'm getting old. At any rate, the bit about this is it's a, as much as, you know, nobody likes it, and it's a one of those times in life. I have noticed something of a trend, because here's the thing: my generation getting old, or those like, let's say 5 to 6 years older than me, depends on the country really, but yeah, most of the West, like a couple of years older than me, and me, getting old for us is a very unique experience. And I'll explain why. You see, our dads didn't grow up on computer games, memes, and the internet, right? They grew up working in coal mines or whatever. Being facetious, of course, but, you know, you get the point. They didn't grow up on the internet. We did. So, our experience of getting older is very different from theirs. And you could say that this has been the case throughout history. Fair enough. However, I've noticed a trend in the games we play, the humor we enjoy, and the sort of general attitude we have to life as we get old, people of my age group. I'll explain to you why very, very simply, and in a couple of examples. Sorry, I hit the microphone. And in a couple of examples. First of all, we stopped finding memes funny. It's a thing. I'm sorry that it is a thing. Genuinely am. It's beyond me. It's not something that I can control. We'd find memes funny sometimes. As a general rule of thumb, we stop finding them funny. Occasionally, we'll laugh at a few of them. But generally speaking, we'll find them not funny anymore. I threw you a bone so you might redeem yourself from a normie hole, so be good and give me the answer to the famous quote, "Hello there." Fancy meeting you here, friend. Did I get it right? I did. As Victor from Fallout New Vegas. Hello there. Fancy meeting you here, friend. In the middle of fucking nowhere. Yeah. Anyway. General rule of thumb, we stopped finding those funny. Though, I will admit, the Elon Musk ones, with like the on the Joe Rogan podcast, the ones that came out of that with the like the blunt and the smoke and everything, some of them were fucking brilliant. Genuinely, some of them were bloody brilliant. It's like, Elon Musk, let me take a hit. The Tesla stock. I too like to take hits. A couple of other ones. At any rate, get this out of the way, get this out of the way, get this out of the way. Tell you what, it is a scary thing. Now, the entire thing was building up to this. Here's a scary thing. I actually started playing golf simulators, and not like golf with friends, the fun ones, but like actual golf simulators. And I've started playing fishing simulators. I'll just pause for a second and let you take that in. And like I said, this is not me. I've noticed a trend in the games we play. I've actually started playing golf simulators. Unironically. And tell you what, I've unironically enjoyed it a little bit. Fishing simulators too. It's like, this is relaxing. Yeah. I'm scared. Jeez, man, I'll give you another hint. Prequels, goddamn prequels. You still properly don't get it. Might as well buy a coffin. It's pretty much how... Might as well buy a coffin. This is the single-handed best comment I have read all week. Yeah, it's from the prequels when. I want to see this. I genuinely want to see this.
Hello there. General Kenobi.
Yeah, I need to buy a coffin, and that's it. I find. I feel like I'm going to call someone out or something. Please don't get me wrong, this is a problem with me. This is not a problem with anyone else. I genuinely find nothing entertaining here. Yes, I did just literally watch the 14-second video. And the response is General Kenobi. Do you want to talk about how old I am? Give me a meme from the original ones, I'll remember it. Oh, I'm afraid you will find the shield quite operational. See, that I find funny. I am getting old. It is time to pass on, you know? It genuinely is. See, that to me is hilarious. If you were to tell me... I'm afraid... Oh, I've just messed up my entire inventory. Look at that. Look at that. Lovely. Ah, whatever. We'll fix it when we, We'll fix it later. We may have just fixed it. We have just fixed it. Never mind. But you show me a meme from the original 3 movies, and I will love it. I guarantee it. I may even know it. Probably will know it too, but prequels, I find nothing of any comedic worth there. I genuinely don't, and I feel so bad for it. But yeah, any rate. Like I said, should not have attacked this guy, should I? Ah, well. Golf, fishing simulators, not knowing anything related to pop culture and, like, past the year 2000. This is the end, man. And this is end of the line. For anyone wondering, I am actually mostly joking. Hello there, Daily. This man is a true legend. Can't send links in YouTube chat. He's ascended beyond us mortals with our hentai specials and Warhammer videos. That said, take this as you will, but our ideas of Ascended don't exactly overlap. Let's just say. Because to me, David Bowie ascended, you know, beyond us mortals. Michael Jackson ascended beyond us mortals. Michael Jordan ascended beyond us mortals. Shakespeare, piss upon his grave, ascended beyond us mortals. This, I'll say I don't believe you. Not at all. I'm just saying that we tend to have different ideas about ascension. Jokes aside, though. It is very relaxing. Those games with golf and stuff. They are very relaxing. They're also populated, the servers are populated exclusively by people over the age of 50. So, saying if you do want to get into it, you have a distinct advantage over them, trust me. Well, you know, you do and you don't. Oh, here's another one. God, you're gonna love this. We are, unironically, me and Commandlicious, thinking about playing actual chess for YouTube. Like one against another. So I want you to now picture the just stereotypical scene of two pensioners sitting in the park playing chess, like, every day for the rest of their lives. That's basically it. And I have... Tell you what, this is all like mostly joking, you know. In fact, I am getting older, we're all getting older every second, but this is mostly joking, right? I'll tell you when I do get older, though. Oh, that's a very good ring. Yeah. Take it. I'll tell you when I will get older, and when you'll be able to tell. When I pick a single game and play it exclusively for YouTube for like 1,000 episodes. Kind of like Northern Lion with the Binding of Isaac series. When I start like my own Binding of Isaac-esque series, you will know. He's gotten old. That's the point. Because at that point, it is quite literally like the two pensioners playing chess in the park. It's not about chess anymore. They don't care who wins. They don't care how they play. The chess has become a medium. Chess has become a medium for something else. And that game is going to be the same. I'm not sure what game that is, but as long as I'm changing games, I'm still good. You know, Michael 1 and 2 is nothing compared to the demigod amongst men. He is basically a Primarch in Warhammer terms. The prequels are the God Emperor. I mean... prequels are like Horus. That is a brilliant analogy. I'm sorry, I'm a bit sleepy. I'll be a little bit more hyped if I wasn't sleepy. At this point, I feel like the stream has taken a lot of energy out of me. So I'd be a little bit more hyped and a little bit more upbeat about it. But trust me, as much as I can, I am being at this point. That is a brilliant bloody analogy. The prequels are Horus. As in, the idea was great, started off good, but ended up betraying everything we believe in. And all that's left of it is like a vestige of hope and just, like that shiny little glitter for the moment in what is otherwise a completely dark canvas. That is a brilliant analogy. That is like dare I say, one of the best analogies I've ever come up with, / will come up with, ever. That is brilliant. I've tooted my own horn long enough, but that was... The prequels are Horus. Yeah. Oh, great, another boss. Is there a boss in there? No? No. Okay. I kind of want to don't end the stream until I kill the other boss. Prequels and horrors bigger than everything else in existence, apart from the original movies. Which are like the Emperor of Mankind. Now practically dead and a corpse, but they sit on the golden throne still. How about that? And you know that those here's a good trick, kill those before you fight the boss. There's gonna be a... Okay, so here's the thing. I'll finish the sentence. We'll fight the boss. I'll be quiet during the fight because it's a difficult fight. And, about it. Yeah, apart from the original movies, which, are the Emperor. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, I think that's exactly how much time we have left. Just enough to kill the boss. Try to kill the boss at the very least, and end it all. Hi. Where's Elsa? Why are you after the priz? And this ends now. Okay. He captured Elsa, the bastard. Yes, the one from Disney. Okay, so... Where are all my minions? You dare kill my minions. This boss fight is very difficult, only if you're stationary. So the idea is you run around in circles around this poor bloke, like cue the Benny Hill theme at this point, you know? Like, this boss fight is essentially you running around in circles from him, AoEing down everything he spawns, and, yeah. That's about it. So, have fun. That's how you're supposed to beat him. Oh, and try and not get hit by the bombs or anything, because they do a fuck ton of damage. But I won't lie, the fact that I rain fireballs of death down from the heavens upon him does help. Quite a bit. And I'm glad I buffed all my gear up before this. This is not nice. Kill it. Okay. I got trapped in the fuck corner. A little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. Easy. Darius Cronley is no longer among the living. Okay, let's see what pretty little tools we got out of this. Vampiric iron scope revolver of something. Meh. This is good though. Astral Robes. Require level 30, but epic caster chest armor. I'll keep it. Pretty damn good. Boots are decent too. The original / God Emperor are dying, and the prequel source will eventually take its place and will be officially the greatest thing ever existed. Sorry to burst your bubble, but Horus is dead. Yeah. Sorry. Like, the Emperor's half dead, neither dead nor alive, somewhere in between, sort of a limbo state, of, if you will, being kept alive by psychers from Earth. Horus is like, he's been removed from existence. He's been killed so hard, you cannot even imagine. Yeah, Horus, he's been deleted from existence. Shift delete. Yeah. Which I suppose is sort of the hole in my heroes never die. Well, yeah, they do. Yeah, you're actually you're right. Heroes never die, which explains why Horus died. How dare you besmirch the good name? It's fun. But, ooh, is this good? Yeah, it is. Seraphim leather. Yeah, that's good. Take that. You know what? I'll look at my gear later. For now, off record a couple of episodes. We'll try and do one Tarkov, one Tarkov, one CK2. If I don't fall asleep in between the two of them. But yeah, I think this has been quite enough for now. Bit of a short stream, talk about some news here and there. But yeah, there we go. About it. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Both those in the live audience and head file name, Heretic Infidel, go back to your coffin. That's a nice tie back. That is a nice tie back. Look at that. Did it actually work? Oh, that is brilliant. Let's give it a second. Pretty sure it did. Maybe? No? Yeah, it did. Look at that. Alerts actually work too. That is phenomenal. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it took about like 3 weeks of pestering the TS guy, but actually set up the program perfectly. So for now, Streamlabs OBS, don't change anything because you'll just ruin it. At any rate, like I said, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, both in the live audience and the VOD. That'll be it for this stream. Talked a little bit about all sorts of things, and yeah, was fun. That's sort of the general purpose here. At any rate, hope you enjoyed. I guess I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.